It's the end of the world as we know it, but it's kind of fun, right? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 World War III games.
Oh, and at any rate, you must have really impressed those Germans, too.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. Obviously, because World War III hasn't happened yet, we're looking for games that are set in a giant war where various superpowers are participating in a high-stakes confrontation. The game must take place during the war itself, so post-apocalyptic games, such as the Fallout series, will not be included.
You're already cleared for entrance in the unforeseen event of total atomic annihilation.
Number 10, Missile Command. Released at a time when the Cold War was influencing pop culture to a large degree, Missile Command preyed on the fears of a nuclear war and gave arcade players a fun yet challenging take on the hypothetical situation. And yes, the Atari version went and ruined the whole story by introducing fictional planets that sound like they were swiped from a discarded Star Wars script. But there was no reference to that in the original arcade release. Instead, this game parallels real national missile defense and depicts a world ravaged by nuclear war as the player attempts to stop incoming missiles. The game was a huge success and is fondly remembered as a staple of the golden age of arcades. Number 9, Frontlines Fuel of War. Obviously following in the footsteps of the more popular Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare and Battlefield series, Frontline Fuel of War was certainly not as memorable or impactful as said titles, but it was still a pretty good game in its own right. Set in 2024, the game follows a war between the Western Coalition, which is essentially NATO, and the Red Star Alliance, a union between Russia and China, as they fight to secure the remaining oil resources.
Now, we're staring each other down across the last wells in the Caspian.
Filled with modern shooter gameplay like securing objectives, using drones to accomplish a wide variety of tasks, and employing airstrikes to cripple the opposition, Frontline made for a fun escape to the not too distant, but still pretty scary future. Number 8, Wargame, European Escalation. The first of many real-time strategy games you're gonna see on this list. This title is set during an alternate reality in which NATO and the Warsaw Pact actually went to battle during the Cold War. The player can control 4 sub-factions within the greater organizations, and over 360 historical units were lovingly recreated for the game. While the gameplay may prove a little frustrating and unwelcoming at first, there is an enormous sense of fun and progression to be had once you get the hang of things. It may not be the greatest World War III based RTS, but it was still a lot of fun. Number 7, Defcon, Everybody Dies. This one's inspired by the 1983 film Wargames. The title simulates a thermonuclear war control room, where the objective is to annihilate as many innocent civilians as you can in the enemy's population, all while trying to prevent the nuclear destruction of your own territory. It's crazy, but it's also a blast. Get it? A blast? Anyway. Of course, the tone of the game's soundtrack and atmosphere reflects the harrowing consequences of a nuclear war too. And the further into the game you progress, the more irradiated the Earth becomes from nuclear fallout. It actually might be better to heed the film's strategy here.
Strange game. The only winning move is not to play.
Number 6, World in Conflict. In what was essentially the best RTS of 2007, you play as Lieutenant Parker during a, say it with me now, alternate history timeline, which sees the Soviet Union invading Western Europe and the Pacific Northwest United States in 1989. Influenced by a slew of military games and movies like Medal of Honor and Red Dawn, World in Conflict is a masterclass in world building and complex strategy. Not to mention that cover with the Statue of Liberty is totally badass. Choosing from one of 4 roles, including infantry, air, armor, and support, the game provides countless hours of strategizing and rewarding challenges, all while remaining pretty darn fun to play.
Tell the men that I am proud of them.
I will, Uncle. We'll do whatever it takes to ensure victory for our great cause.
Number 5, Command & Conquer, Red Alert 2.
Unit promoted.
The original Red Alert was set in an alternate World War II where Hitler never rose to power, and this game directly follows the events of that alternate timeline to 1972, wherein the Soviet Union launched a full-scale invasion of the United States. What sets this game apart from the others is its unabashed sense of fun. The storyline is absolutely ridiculous, the cutscenes are intentionally goofy rather than melodramatic, and the heavy metal music puts you in the perfect place to kick some butt.
Destination, Commander?
Top that off with gameplay that's very easy to learn yet difficult to master, and you have one of the most beloved RTS games of the 2000s. Number 4, Battlefield 4. Set during the War of 2020, this game sees tension running high between Russia and the United States, all while China is in the midst of a coup, earning full Russian support and sparking a potential war with the United States. But enough backstory, let's watch some buildings collapse, eh? Yeah, that's this stuff. While the campaign of Battlefield 4 may be the very definition of meh, the multiplayer was a tour de force, filled with an enormous player count, enough weapons to supply a small army, and destructible environments the likes of which had never been seen before. It was chaotic, fast-paced, and extremely fun, all things of which a Battlefield game should be. Number 3, Tom Clancy's End War.
Our pleasure, Citron. Excellent. Hostile destroyed.
Tom Clancy and video games go together like spaghetti and meatballs. Enter End War, a Ubisoft creation that sees players battling during World War III after the fictional European Federation accidentally shoots down a space module. It's all very James Bond, but it's really just an excuse to get your friends together and shoot some guns, which the game more than excels at. End War nails the hypothetical scope of World War III, with hundreds of soldiers fighting at once, lengthy matches, realistic city destruction in the heart of various countries, and a admittedly somewhat gimmicky voice command system. It's pretty innovative stuff though, and the game developed a cult following.
Mark my words, Paris will burn.
Number 2, Arma 3. You'd be hard-pressed to find a better and more gorgeous-looking military simulator than Arma 3. The game takes place in a breathtaking region of the Mediterranean, as NATO and the Canton Protocol Strategic Alliance Treaty, a group composed of Eastern countries, go to battle. While the game lacked innovation, had some questionable AI, and was missing a robust single-player experience upon launch, it was more than made up for in its sheer size and immersion. The game was not without ambition, and while not everything worked perfectly, Arma 3 is still one of the most definitive and realistic war experiences you can have from the comfort and safety of your own home.
On the move. Hostile down.
Number 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Coming at the perfect time between Call of Duty love and franchise fatigue, Modern Warfare 3 was the stellar conclusion fans were hoping for. The game follows the events of Modern Warfare 2 as Makarov triggers numerous terrorist attacks and instigates a large-scale war with his ultra-nationalist party.
Next global conflict. Just the will of a single man.
The campaign was full of exciting set pieces like blowing up a jamming device on the Wall Street Stock Exchange and collapsing the Eiffel Tower. The multiplayer was also in full form, perfecting its predecessors and giving fans exactly what they wanted. When it comes to World War III, no other game does it quite better than Modern Warfare 3. I guess that could have been a slogan. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.